very good evening to you. I'm Lisa Broom with the CBC Evening News. In our top story tonight, Barbados remains a safe place for visitors. That assertion from Prime Minister Frandl Stewart during the first repeat guest reception for the year at Illawarra Court. Those receptions are held during the tourist season to thank long-term visitors. In this instance, for example, 2 of the guests at last night's reception have more than 60 trips to the island between them, while one of the families have registered an in excess of 30 visits. Prime Minister Stewart told the visitors that every effort continues to be made to ensure that Barbados is safe and comfortable for Barbadians first, who will then in turn exhibit the kind of behavior that makes people want to return.
You're aware of the fact that whether you come from the United States, from the United Kingdom, from Canada, from Denmark, from other parts of Europe, you are not going to leave your countries of origin to come to Barbados if you are not going to feel safe in this country. That is not another way of saying, of course, that from time to time we may not have a motor vehicle accident or some other kind of misfortune happening here. After all, we have not yet reached a stage where we can pursue the standards of angels. We are still limited to the standards of ordinary men and women.
The Barbados Hotel and Tourism Association has expressed regret over the travel and health advisories issued by Canada and now the United States. In a statement, the BHTA reiterated its commitment to working with the Barbados Water Authority on the challenges occurring with the South Coast sewage system. The 2 sides recently met along with its members directly affected. CEO Rudy Grant says they were brought up to date on ongoing work by the BWA.
The BWA updated us on the immediate plans to address the situation and indicated that this work will be completed within 3 months. In the meantime, it is expected that they will continue the current short-term mitigating measures to provide relief to businesses and residents in the affected areas. It is critical, particularly as a result of the advisories issued, that there is constant assessment and review of the short-term measures implemented to ensure that there is no reoccurrence of this situation. It is imperative that every possible action is taken to safeguard Brand Barbados and the well-being of Barbadians, residents and visitors.
Well, the United Kingdom is the latest country to issue a health advisory telling its citizens to avoid coming into direct contact with raw sewage. In the health section of its updated foreign travel advice for Barbados, it states that certain areas of the South Coast are experiencing breakdowns of sewage pipes. It is advising British citizens to take the normal hygienic precautions. The National Union of Public Workers hopes the environmental issues at the Treasury Department could be rectified this weekend. The union's General Secretary Rosalind Smith says this would be in the best interest of all involved. On Tuesday, workers walked off the job complaining of an odor which they say was making them sick.
I think the Labour Department and probably they said Harold Oxley will be visiting to do some investigative work. But I would hope in the interest that the management will have the go ahead to allow the staff, at least to be off the job at least by tomorrow or so, to allow these investigations to take place. It makes no sense that the workers have to just come, report, and go and be outside it's not tidy. And I believe that they should use the weekend and everything to have all these issues looked at, and hopefully the staff be able to come Monday, hoping to come into a fairly safe environment to work.
Ms. Smith was speaking as the union launched its ID discount card this morning. Now, that card allows members to access discounts from several businesses across the island.
We try to ensure that we look for new ways and avenues for our membership. And we have a lot of young persons within the public service, and we know that they do a lot of shopping. So this would obviously, given the economic situation, they'll be able to get more and more discounts as they go to do their regular shopping.
Well, coming up after the break, we'll tell you about some outstanding Barbadians who were honored. Stay tuned.
Mom and Dad used to argue about everything, especially about Dad's drinking. My family went from totally crazy to quiet, calm, and even peaceful when Mom started going to Al-Anon family groups. I wanted a better relationship with Dad, so I asked Mom if she would take me to her Al-Anon meetings or to Alateen. I'm sure glad I did. If someone's drinking troubling you, you might be surprised at what you can learn in an Al-Anon or Alateen family group from people just like you. Call 1-888-4-ALANON or go to alanon.org.
This is Seth at Selberville, musician and comedian.
Hi, I'm Nadia Phillips, comedian and entertainer. The Barbados Vagrants and Homeless Society is doing a great thing, and we need your help as well, Barbados.
Come together as one and give to the Barbados Vagrants and Homeless Society by simply donating anything you got. Trust me, families, help the homeless.
A lot of people think that fast boys are cool, and the girls sure like the guys who work them. But like so many things about life, you gotta be careful. Having sex without a condom is like riding a bike without a helmet. It's just plain dumb. It's okay to have fun as long as you're smart about it. My name is Daniel the Lion Fortress, and I'm different, and I'm making a difference.
Live up. Love, protect, respect.
Nine men and 33 women have been recognized for their outstanding contributions to several areas. Following the initial announcement on Independence Day last year, they were officially presented with their honors during a ceremony at Government House. Lisa Lord reports.
In a more than 2-hour-long ceremony, citation after citation listed the outstanding accomplishments of these sons and daughters of the soil. In her first major function since being installed as Governor General, Her Excellency Dame Sandra Mason presented each honoree with an insignia representative of his or her award. First to appear before Dame Sandra were the most recent Barbadian men to be conferred the country's highest honor, the Knight of St. Andrew. Sir Anthony Bryan, Sir Warwick Franklin, and Sir Charles Griffith. Sir Charles admits that the honor came as a surprise. He says coming from humble beginnings, he could not have reached this stage without help.
I got to thank the people that brought me thus far, especially from St. Lucie. And there's a chap called Mitchie Hewitt, if he didn't really have the foresight to really have a team called Barbados Cricket League that was there for the underprivileged, and I was one of the underprivileged, and he was one that I got to thank. That if that thing was not there, I probably would not be here today.
And there to witness his elevation to knighthood was fellow cricketing great Sir Wes Hall. Referring to cricket as a game of glorious uncertainties, he says that he could never have imagined that it would bring them this far.
You don't know if you're going to last 1 year, 2, 5. You might have the ability, but there's injuries sometimes can, block your path. But with Charlie and I, 10 years, that's good.
Dame Sandra also conferred Companions of Honor Awards, Gold and Silver Crowns of Merit, the Barbados Service Awards, and the Barbados Bravery Medals. For her outstanding contribution to music and music education, Joy Knight Lynch was awarded a Gold Crown of Merit. She says for her, it was a labor of love.
It's very humbling. I'm very honored because when I was doing my work, I really was doing it just, because I love children and I love teaching, and so I love music.
A Barbados Service Star was presented to Gabrielle Springer for her contribution to the public service, as well as the role she played in coordinating activities for the island's 50th anniversary of independence celebrations. But she says the independence activities were a team effort.
So this honor is on behalf of that team. So it feels really special today It's very humbling, and I was really proud to do this for my country.
15 young men from the Bayville area received medals for bravery after their quick action helped extinguish a house fire last September. The ceremony was attended by Prime Minister Frundle Stewart, government ministers, dignitaries, as well as family members and friends of the honorees. Lisa Lord, CBC News.
Thanks, Lisa. Well, now to this sad news. A violent stabbing incident in the city has resulted in a man being hospitalized. Lawmen say around 2 in the afternoon, 2 men were involved in an altercation just outside of the KFC restaurant on Marhill Street. Now, during that incident, a man was stabbed multiple times about the body. Onlookers described the attack as brutal and suggest that it was not the first time the two had been involved in a dispute. Police say the injured man, believed to be in his 30s, was rushed to the Queen Elizabeth Hospital where he remains in stable condition. The assailant fled the scene after the incident and investigations are continuing. Still to come, a look at some of the stories making headlines across the region.
I thought a drink would magically solve all my problems.
And then you don't even have the decency.
I thought it would give me courage. I thought that it would help me fit in.
You know, I thought it'd be the life of the party.
I never thought this would happen to me.
I thought I was only hurting myself.
If alcohol has lost its magic for you and you can't stop drinking,
I took action and my life has changed.
I'm out living life to the fullest.
Now I have friends that accept me for me.
I realized I don't have to drink anymore.
I've stopped hurting the people that I love.
AA gave me hope.
you'll find us in the phone book, your local newspaper, or on the web at aa.org. Alcoholics Anonymous.
New on Morning Barbados.
You know, I'm ready to hit the spot, and I'm bringing along a friend.
This one is sure to hit the spot. Fridays on Morning Barbados. See you at 6.
Despite the demands of the school system in Barbados and the Eastern Caribbean, an educator believes that classrooms in the region must be filled with teachers who are able to overcome the obstacles and succeed. Chair of the Eastern Caribbean Joint Board of Education, Dr. Babalola Ogunkola, says schools today are not the same as yesteryear.
It is very important to know that. But it is very disturbing sort of, because people who are actually, or most people that are actually involved in teaching today's schools happen to be yesterday's teachers. In some places, you have students that are better in manipulating technology than their teachers. We have some teachers who are afraid even to set up the simplest of all gadgets to teach.
Over 600 students in the Turks and Caicos Islands benefited from the school supplies donated by Barbadians. Former president of the National Council for Parent-Teacher Associations, Rhonda Blackman-Smith, made the plea for the donations for schools in the TCI, which were battered by 2 vicious hurricanes last year. Ms. Blackman-Smith rode out Hurricane Irma in early September, but she and other non-Turks were advised to evacuate ahead of the deadly Hurricane Maria, which hit the island 10 days later. Now, during that time, 2 schools, one on Grand Turk, the other on one of the sister islands, were destroyed, and Ms. Blackman-Smith turned to Barbadians for help. Now, the now Curriculum Development Officer in TCI's Ministry of Education was overwhelmed by the response returning to the islands with 19 boxes of school supplies. And she says both students and teachers are thankful for that donation.
The students are utilizing the exercise books within their classrooms for various subject areas. Students were excited when they received the school bags. One boy in particular cried when he received his bag because he was in dire need of a bag. So we are very thankful for the donations, Barbados. You have really made the students of the Turks and Caicos Islands happy. I want to say rather big thank you on their behalf.
In Dominica, the business community should soon be getting the long-awaited emergency grant support promised by the Prime Minister following the devastation caused by Hurricane Maria. Minister of Commerce Rosalind Paul says many businesses, particularly small businesses, were affected by Maria. The business community has been asking about the grant support so they can get back up and running.
Over the next 2 weeks, from today until the 24th, we will be inviting people to apply. You must have suffered loss from Maria for you to apply. And you have until, as I said, the 24th to make sure that you apply. We will be reaching out to all communities via the village councils so that people can have access to the application forms. We will also be launching our public relations, public awareness to ensure that people are well informed and that everybody can have, everybody that has been affected, everybody who has a small business that has been affected and meets the requirement can have access to the grant.
In Curacao, the 4 lifeless bodies of 2 men and 2 women were found on the north coast of the island. Police have indicated they could be Venezuelan refugees. Now, if they are indeed Venezuelans, it would be the first time that an attempt to reach Curacao ended in tragedy. Over the past few weeks, the Coast Guard and the police have been intercepting boats with refugees who were attempting to enter the island illegally. Well, here's a tip now from Cooperators General Insurance.
This tip of the day is brought to you by Cooperators General Insurance Company Limited. Insurance the way you want it to be.
Do not leave bathroom windows open and remove all facilitators from outside of your home, ladders, concrete blocks, etc. This crime prevention tip is brought to you in association with the Royal Barbados Police Force.